Greetings and welcome to A Sip of Inspiration. Every moment in your life is filled with all the opportunities that life has to offer. My name is Stephanie Wilson Coleman. You see, life is a canvas and you decide to color. What colors will you choose for your life today?
Listen to the words of the song. Everything gonna be alright.
Greetings and welcome to A Sip of Inspiration. My name is Stephanie Wilson Coleman, the Empowerment Doctor. Every week we try to introduce you to new topics, new experiences, and new people who can actually help to enhance this experience of this event that I call life. You know that I believe that everything that you do should be an adventure. However, some adventures are difficult if you're experiencing some physical ailments. So joining me today is one of my really good friends, Dr. Bettie Smith, who does all manner of holistic healing. You see, I believe, as you all know, that the body is capable of healing itself if you give it just the right care and just the right treatment. I am going to thank you, Dr. Bettie, for joining me, and I'm going to read a little bit about you for the audience so that they can get to know you as well as I do. You see, Dr. Bettie Smith has a lot of training, okay? She has a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Illinois College of Nursing. She's currently a licensed registered professional nurse. Also in 1982, she received her doctoral degree in help me with it. Naprapathy from the National College of
Naturopathic.
Okay, naturopathic medicine. Okay, it looks easier than it sounds, okay? In 2004, she joined a handful of Chicagoans to become certified practitioner in the body talk system. She also does the emotional code, the body code and access energy transformation. She does raindrop therapy. She does needless acupuncture. And she even does Reiki. She does it all. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, that was the hard part there, getting all that stuff out. Now, this is where the fun begins. I often hear people talk about things going on in their health, things that are actually going on in their body. And sometimes, because of our training or lack thereof, a lot of things going on in our bodies will give us signals as to something serious even that needs to happen. And I do believe that we get the information or the message long before it is serious. That
Definitely.
Gives us an opportunity to correct it or to heal it. But what happens is we don't know what those signals are.
Exactly.
All we know is, if you look at the television set, it gives us a whole list of drugs. Every commercial tells us everything we can take and all of the wonderful side effects that come along with it. But what are some of the symptoms or some of the messages that our body is sending us when we need to pay attention to?
One of the major symptoms would be pain.
Okay.
We often have headache, backache, neck ache, knee aches and pains, and the like. And all of these pains, aches, and pains are a signal that something is not right in the body.
Now, when we have like a headache, because I know some people dismiss headaches, and I'm probably one of those. It's like, oh, it'll be all right tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long should we allow the pain to persist before we start to look into something serious, and before we start to look into the pain?
Well, I would say that the signal of pain is to advise you that you need to do something,
okay,
or that you're doing something incorrectly. Headaches in general are a sign that there is an abnormal amount of tension collecting in the upper muscles, the trapezius muscles, the muscles of the neck, and the muscles of the head. If you notice, when you're stressed, we start to draw our shoulders up.
Yes.
And when this is a continual process, those muscles tighten up and they prevent or inhibit the flow of waste and the flow of fluids that normally flow up and away from the head and neck area. So if the muscles in the shoulders are tightened, then those fluids, for instance, lymph, which is waste products, is not able to get out. And so it becomes congested in that area and causes pressure on the nerves, the muscles, and there you have your headache.
Oh, wow. So there's just a little more going on other than
just a headache.
Just a headache, or you didn't get enough sleep that night.
Exactly. And even just not getting enough sleep or sleeping in the wrong position can cause those muscles to tense up and obstruct the flow of fluids.
Now, what would be the recommended position to sleep in?
The optimal position is on your side or on your back, keeping in mind that the neck has a normal or a natural curvature to it. So if you sleep with too many pillows and your head is propped up out of alignment, then that's going to put extra pressure or stress on the neck and shoulder muscles. Hence, you might even wake up with a headache or a neck ache. So the key thing would be to utilize either a orthotic pillow, the pillow that has a little dip in the center, or to, I've even rolled a towel, especially when out of town and not have my orthotic pillow with me, roll a towel to support the natural curvature of the neck. When we sleep, we should actually be in the same position as if we were standing up straight versus this or this. Exactly.
So I roll a towel too because I am orthotic pillow challenged. I never know which part of the pillow goes where.
Yes, exactly.
It's got this hump and this little part.
Right.
If you put your head there, it's like, how do they work?
Well, actually, I have noticed that there are a number of orthotic pillows on the market, and some of them are quite uncomfortable.
Okay.
So it really comes down to finding the one that is best suited for you. There's smaller ones that are narrow with the small hump and then the larger hump, and I find those to be quite uncomfortable because it really doesn't leave enough space for your head. But generally speaking, the curved portion fits right in the nape of your neck.
Okay.
And then the concave portion is where your head lies.
Okay. All right. Now, if the pain is in the hip, is there something similar going on in the body in the hip area as in the shoulder area?
Yes, I would say so. Most people, if not all, have some misalignment of the spine, hips, pelvic area. And this comes from behaviors that we have, habits that we have of crossing our legs.
As I uncross my legs.
She uncrosses her legs.
Okay.
Standing side with one hip up in the air and the other down. Getting in and out of a car improperly.
Oh, you know that's my problem.
All manner of things, ways in which we sleep, positions we sleep in, that kind of thing. And these things done on a continual basis can actually shift the position of the hips.
Okay. Now, what is the proper way to get in the car and to get out of the car?
The proper way is to do it ladylike. Now, guys don't usually like to hear that, but the proper way is to put your behind in the car, sit down, and take your legs and swing them in.
Okay.
That way you have a balance of your pelvis. The proper way to get out is to take your legs out and push yourself up. When driving a car, that's another big issue. Many people will prop one leg up, the leg closest to the door, and the other leg, which the foot that actually depresses the pedal, the brake and the pedal, is straight out. Well, the hips are generally balanced. This being the top of your hips, this being the bones in front, and this being the bones that we sit on.
Okay.
In the center is the sacrum, and their ligaments, which are like rubber bands that allow us free movement.
Okay.
When we get in and out of the car, if we sit, and then turn our legs in, our pelvis is straight. Once we prop that leg up, the left leg, and have the right leg extended, this is what's happening.
Okay.
So if you leave that left leg propped up, then you're continually having this imbalance. What I encourage people to do is to straighten that left leg so that they're balanced, and that way your hips are actually sitting in a balanced manner.
All right. All right, I will practice that
Okay,
today.
all right.
I am getting in and out of the car better, though, and I have noticed
And it takes practice.
Yes, because you have a tendency to just want to jump
in and
jump in and jump out of the car.
Exactly.
And no one ever teaches you that
Exactly.
you've got your whole body in motion when you're doing that.
And that affects actually your entire body, not just your hips. It affects your shoulders, your neck, your entire spine. Sure.
Now, earlier we were having a conversation about the lymphatic system. So we were talking about things that people could do, that could start to do and implement in their lives right now today that would improve their health. So one of the things we know now is to be sure you're sleeping in the correct position. The optimal position is on your side or on your back and supporting the
natural curvature of the neck.
And then get in the car correctly and get out of the car correctly.
Exactly.
And drive correctly.
Exactly.
But what about this? We hear a lot about the lymphatic system. It seems like, oh, someone's lymph nodes are infected or someone's lymph node has cancer cells. So what can we do now to help improve our lymphatic health?
Move, exercise.
Okay.
First of all, let me say that the lymphatic system is like the body's sewage system.
Okay.
And it's a network of channels, actually. There are no vessels like veins and arteries for this lymph fluid to flow through. It's really like channels. And the only way that this lymph actually moves is through the contraction of the muscles around those lymph channels. So, looking back in history, women were at the river washing clothes, and you see the movement on the scrub board back in the day, chopping wood, hanging curtains, hanging clothes. There was lots of movement, but nowadays,
right now,
many of the things are just by remote control. We want to change the channel. We use the remote control. We want something to drink. Baby, could you get Granny a glass of water?
Right.
Well, Granny, go get it yourself. You know, that movement. So one of the best things that we can do to support lymphatic function is to move, to exercise. Walking, brisk walking is excellent. One modality that I recommend to many people is to get a rebounder. They have rebounders that are about the size of this table. It's just a trampoline. And you don't have to jump high, you just bounce on it. And that moves the lymph throughout the entire body.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It does.
I didn't know that. That's great. So walking, bicycling, all of that kind of stuff.
All of that.
Playing with the kids, because it doesn't have to be work.
It doesn't.
It can be
fun.
Right, fun.
Just move.
Just move.
That's the important thing. And
Okay.
move everything.